Yeah, let's
Don't know
talk
what
a little about
Davos
this
is. Don't worry
utopian
about it. It's not
dream.
that important.
When people dream
But
of utopia, it's because they don't have utopia inside of themselves. Their nervous system is calibrated for fear, guilt, and shame, which a lot of EU people are, which is why they have no boundaries, uncontrolled migration, a lot of shame around colonialism in Europe. So, okay, it's our fault, let them in. Right? So, when we're making decisions based on fear, guilt, and shame, we lack boundaries. When we lack boundaries, then we don't notice that the GDP, went down by half, that maybe we're overtaxing, that maybe, it's that the relationship with the globalism is less important than making sure our farmers in our home countries have work, which we've seen. There have been like mass protests in France, I think in England as well in the past like couple of months. And this is January of 2026. So when we kind of deny ourselves and we're punishing ourselves through fear, guilt, and shame over our past events, then we overgive. And then we overgive, there's no boundaries. So, while yes, we're talking about outsourcing masculinity, there's also outsourcing of femininity too. And we could talk about that in another video, but let's get back to Victor. Right.
by hoi
They're
polloi,
just
the
superior
many.
to the electorate.
And they
Sound
actually
like,
discuss for elected governments,
communists
because you
might
see,
call that the
elected governments make
bourgeoisie,
mistakes in their view.
like the ruling elite, like the kings and queens who are just above government because they just know and they just come from the right place. So replace genes with PhD. But where'd you get your PhD? Is it left leaning or is it right leaning? I mean, that acts as if there's no political sway in an education system, which we know today there really is, because 60% of the people that go there are women, and institutions are 98% left leaning. So this is not just, just because you're educated doesn't equate with being unbiased, which is what they're saying.
Borders.
They're not.
They believe in legal
they're
only
communists.
immigration and
They're
redistribution
communists.
of money.
And communism is an
believe in
external
free market
solution to an internal
capitalism.
problem. It's like cancel culture. And I can bring up my Andrew Huberman video in a second, but he goes into detail about why changing things outside of you doesn't change things inside of you. And when our nervous systems are calibrated for fear, guilt, and shame, hence all the shameful things happening in Europe, our problems aren't going to get solved. We're just going to live in our problems. We're going to live in our fear, guilt, and shame. Where we spend our time is what we manifest. EU is supposed to be capitalist, but they went for, what is it called? Stakeholder capitalism. Like, we're responsible for everybody. That's relationships. That's like female capitalism. That's like philanthropy capitalism. That just doesn't work. But that's communism. So let's keep going. But this is a source of a huge problem.
In
That's
the case
what
of the United States fully,
law.
it would say that
But
a
there isn't any
major
international
colonel in the
law.
United States
After World War
could be
II, yes, there were
prosecuted
trials,
if he
but
issued
America
an
was
order that they
engaged in it.
felt
So
was
why would America
inhumane.
outsource our legal code to people who aren't, they're not elected in America? We should outsource our government sovereignty to the EU? That's the definition of controlling. That's the definition of we're above you and we're the king and queen on on our thrones. Like, what? I don't think so.
Issues and laws and policy, and now it has almost a little more than
what
half.
They call stakeholder capitalism, which is really communism,
GDP
socialism.
of the United States.
It's really philanthropic capitalism. It's women, when women run the show and they don't understand that they're not men and they really care about relationships and feelings. This is what happens. So, I'm arguing for letting men be men and women be women, and then, things will get better. But, that's just me.
Cannot be assimilated or